We're turning our attention now to Anambra State, where the countdown is on to the big one on the 8th of November. I'm joined by the National Publicity Secretary of APGA, Ejimofo Okpara, for more on preparations of the party ahead of the big one. Mr. Okpara, your governor was quoted to have promised to pay local government chairmen as much as 5 million naira based on their performance in the forthcoming election. That has attracted some form of criticism. Vote buying on one hand, desperation on the other. How's your party reacting?
Well, good evening, Nifemi, and thank you for having me. So I don't know where you're quoting my governor from, and if you're quoting him correctly. So I'd like you to say that again, so I would know exactly what you're quoting.
Precisely what are you saying? That Mr. Governor did not promise the chairman to give them between 1 and 5 million naira based on the performance in the election. He's even said that there are prizes for local governments that can deliver the most during the governorship election. You haven't heard that, right?
That's what I'm telling you. I just heard you correctly now, because you said he promised to pay local government chairmen. I wonder where you got that from, local government chairman. No, we're talking to our party members. We're talking to members of our party, and this is to spur some level of competition, or what you may say competitiveness, between the party members across, the state. Because elections come down to one thing, and that is voting. And obviously, part of the things that actually great elections down here is voter apathy. So you get situations where, you have over 2.8 million persons registered voters in Anambra. And at the end of the day, you're seeing when the elections are decided, you're seeing the winner getting about 157,000, less than 5% of total registered voters. So, part of the strategy to also ensure that, we curtail this or improve on or reduce the level of voter apathy is to incentivize the voter, to incentivize the people, the party people, really. And well, of course, part of it is for victory. If you are able to, the ward or the local government with the highest number of, vote cast in terms of the outcome, of the entirety of the election, there is an incentive for you. Just to encourage you to say, yeah, you did well. It's not about...
Mazi, how are you reacting to opinions from stakeholders who consider this vote buying, and it's born out of desperation on the part of Mr. Governor?
I've just told you that if you talk about desperation, you talk about the other parties, not ABGA. When it comes to this election, taking place in Anambra...
But you are giving cash gifts for people to vote. Isn't that vote buying?
It's an ABGA election, and it's an ABGA election to win. So it's not about desperation, because this is the party that is on ground. Anambra is ABGA's enclave. And when I tell you that we go for our rallies and we're speaking to our members, we are speaking to members of the party across the world, across the local government. And I've just told you, I've just given you if you like, the raison d'etat, behind, such competition. That's what I call it, such competition. So it's a competition. Mobilize your members, mobilize them to go and vote, mobilize your people to go and vote. And at the end of the day, you are incentivized.
We are hoping, though, that subsequently we're going to play down on the role of money in our election, because you are aware the role that has played. There are conversations as to whether or not INEC is even implementing its act to ensure that parties are not spending beyond the framework of what is expected or what they are liable to. But quickly, because of our time, we started quite late. I'm interested to get your opinion on who gets the obedient movement vote in Anambra. A group came to say we are supporting Mr. Governor, and then we're hearing obedient movement saying that's not true. We have a Labour Party candidate in this election. Who is fooling who here?
Let me also throw this light before I go to that question. Something that is unprecedented is happening with the Anambra election. For the first time in the state, you're getting to see the electorates mobilizing themselves and supporting, the candidate of a party to say, go and contest the election. We are giving you this. The governor has received so far, torrents and torrents of support in terms of donation. So, where people want to now, tail in between legs, try to chicken out of this kind of fierce contest, to saying that a party that is dominant in the state is now tilting towards vote buying. Then for me, that's the highest level of insincerity, because the people themselves have owned this process by investing their treasure, by investing their resources into the process. So going to your question on the obedient, I tell you this. It was at the rally at Oka South, the rally at Oka South local government that was held, I think, yesterday or so. And one of the one of the dominant or strong, most committed member or leader of the obedient movement in the state, came up with thousands of their members. They stormed the rally and declared unalloyed and total support for the ABGA candidate and ABGA as a party. So any other counter, whatever opinion that people outside the shores of the state are beginning to throw into the conversation, for me, is an afterthought. And they matter less to me, because if you talk about the obedient movement, we're talking about the obedient movement in Anambra, saying that they are mobilizing their members to vote for ABGA and to vote for Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo. And you're telling me about obedient member who may probably be in Lagos or Abuja or in diaspora.
Mr. Para, I guess we'll see how all of these play out, because the interesting thing is, we saw Mr. Governor in Abuja the other day wearing the face cap, progressives working together. And then Labour Party rather, obedient movement is saying they're supporting Mr. Governor. Interesting things happen on a countdown to elections like this, but I guess time will tell. Mazi Ejimofo Okpara is National Publicity Secretary of ABGA in Anambra. Thank you so much for talking to us, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you so much for having me, Nifan.